The episode begins with a teacher named Kirisu, who informs the headmaster that she can't tutor the genius students anymore. The next scene shows a student named Rizu Agata, a genius in physics and mathematics, also known as Thumbelina's supercomputer. Afterward, another genius student named Fumino Furuhashi is introduced. It is revealed that she's unrivaled in the field of literature. Later, we see the protagonist of the show named Narayuki Yuiga, an average student with moderate grades. The next day, it is revealed that Yuiga is aiming for a special VIP recommendation, because the student chosen for the special VIP recommendation will get admission to their affiliated university without any entrance exam, with all tuition covered. Yuiga's family is poor, which is why his determination to win the scholarship is strong. Suddenly, he gets summoned by the headmaster, who notices that Yuiga has maintained grades of 80% in all the subjects. The headmaster expresses his desire to grant him the scholarship on one condition. Yuiga will become the tutor of Rizu and Furuhashi to help them get into the university of their choice. In the next scene, Rizu tells him that she believes he'll also abandon them like their previous tutors. However, Yuiga assures her that he'll help them, which surprises Furuhashi. Rizu tells him she wishes to pursue the field of liberal arts, and Furuhashi states she wants to pursue science at the university. Yuiga gets shocked because, being geniuses, they have decided to go against their field of expertise. However, he hands them a mock test, and much to his surprise, they fail miserably. Anyway, he decides to work on their weak points and hands them an assignment. After tutoring them for a week, he receives negative results and gets frustrated. Consequently, he advises them to pursue their field of expertise, which irritates them, and they leave. Later, he observes their notebooks and notices they are filled with nonsense. He recalls his hardships during childhood and decides to help them achieve their goals. The next day, Yuiga hands them advisory notes and guarantees that he'll help them. Later in the library, Furuhashi gets sleepy and accidentally falls onto his shoulder. Afterward, Rizu asks him a question and accidentally brushes her chest against his arm. Yuiga gets embarrassed by the psychological hurdle of being their tutor and tries to keep his head down. Later, it is revealed that Rizu's family has an udon restaurant and she leaves. In the next scene, Yuiga and Furuhashi are walking toward home, but she suddenly stops. She begins staring at the sky and tells him that she loves stars. She has loved stars since childhood and always looks for her late mother's star on a starry night. She wishes to form a connection with the stars throughout her life. That is why she wants to pass the science exam and study astronomy. Yuiga gets impressed by her enthusiasm and promises to help her. Later, he finds Rizu playing cards alone in a park. She informs him that she's taking a break on the way back from a delivery. Yuiga decides to give her company and sits down to play cards with her. However, he beats her easily, and it is revealed that she's not good at anything related to human emotions. That's why she wants to pass the liberal arts exam and study psychology. Yuiga offers to give her company during her break time, which jollifies her. Yuiga gets pushed by a girl named Yuruka Takemoto and falls on the floor. She requests him to lend her his homework, and he reluctantly agrees. In the next scene, it is revealed that Yuiga and Yuruka have been friends since middle school. Moreover, she's a sports scholarship student with extraordinary athletic skills. She's the star of the swimming team. However, her schoolwork is a disaster. Consequently, the headmaster orders him to tutor Yuruka as well. Later, he meets her and informs her about the situation. Yuruka shows reluctance at first, but later agrees when she learns about Rizu and Furuhashi. The scene then shifts to Yuruka, who recalls a flashback with Yuiga. During middle school, she always borrowed his homework and Yuiga lent it to her without any objections. This led her to develop feelings for him, but she hasn't confessed them to this day. In the next scene, Rizu's teacher orders her to submit the assignment tomorrow. Later, she visits Yuiga and requests him to teach her the trick to writing a short essay. She brings udon for him and Yuiga agrees to help her. Rizu states that she can't write about something that doesn't have a solution. Therefore, Yuiga decides to teach her the fundamentals of writing a short essay. Suddenly, she gets a text from Yuruka and she informs her about her current location. Much to their surprise, Yuruka arrives at Yuiga's house and requests him to teach her as well. Suddenly, a blackout occurs and the battery of everyone's phones dies. Rizu, being scared of darkness, hugs Yuiga and Yuruka takes advantage of this opportunity to do the same. Yuiga lights up a homemade candle because he's used to studying without electricity. Yuruka accidentally blows the flame of the candle, but electricity gets restored and Rizu leaves. The next day, it is revealed that Rizu's assignment was accepted thanks to Yuiga's help. Later, it is revealed that Yuruka has to pass a vocabulary test. If she fails, she would have to take supplementary classes. Rizu, Furuhashi, and Yuiga help her to memorize words, but she fails after several attempts. Yuiga realizes Yuruka's ability to learn Maximuses during her swimming. He later uses her ability and manages to help her memorize 50 words. Later, Yuruka tries to confess her feelings to Yuiga but fails. However, she hands him a gift as a token of gratitude and catches up to Rizu and Furuhashi. The headmaster gives Yuiga an ultimatum: if Rizu and Furuhashi are unable to get an average score on the upcoming midterm exams, they won't be allowed to change their intended field of study. Yuiga assures him and leaves. However, Kirisu advises the headmaster to relieve Yuiga of his duties if he's unable to produce the desired results. Above all, Rizu and Furuhashi overhear their conversation. Later, while studying in the library, Rizu asks him to come over to her place to supervise her. The next morning, he visits her restaurant and meets her father. He tries to intimidate him, but she interrupts. Dressed in formal attire, she begins studying, and Yuiga notices that she's quite focused today. Later, Yuiga manages to help her cover all the material for the test. Rizu states that she feels confident, but asks him what would happen if she fails. Yuiga replies they'll work harder the next time and pats her on the head. During the test, she notices that half of it is from the material she studied. However, the other half is random, which confuses her, but she recalls her memories with Yuiga and manages to score 71%. The results surprise Yuiga and Yuruka, but Furuhashi gets sick for tomorrow's test. Unfortunately, she can't skip the test because it'll lower her chances of getting an average score in the future. Later, he visits Furuhashi's home to nurse her, and it is revealed that she's quite rich. He goes inside and knocks on her door, but accidentally enters the room while she's changing, which shocks her. Later, he apologizes to her and goes into the kitchen with Yuruka. Much to his surprise, Yuruka cooks a wonderful soup for them, which cures Furuhashi. Afterward, she shows her gratitude and tells him to continue being her tutor. Yuiga notices she's in her sleeping clothes and she gets embarrassed. The next day, it was revealed that both of them managed to score above average marks successfully. Later, Yuruka's friends Kawase and Yumehara take her shopping. They force her to wear a girly outfit and leave. Surprisingly, she notices Yuiga and tries to avoid him, but he goes to the bookstore with her. There, Yuruka recalls a flashback during her childhood, and it is revealed that she was bullied for dressing like a girl. Ever since then, her confidence shattered, and she never tried dressing like a girl again. Suddenly, a young boy calls them a couple, and Yuruka gets happy. She believes it is because of her outfit, and they leave the shop. Later, Yuruka forces Yuge to enter a competition exclusive for couples to win a prize for his little sister, Hazuki. The last couple standing will win the prize, but Yuruka gets embarrassed. Yuga notices her tears and manages to win the competition. Later, she again tries to confess her feelings to Yuiga. However, she gets embarrassed and fails. Furuhashi notices that she has gained weight, which makes her gloomy. However, Yuruka and Rizu share their snacks with her, and she deciphers the reason why she has gained weight. She believes this happened because of her eating between meals every day. Furuhashi asks Rizu and Yuruka if they've gained any weight, to which they reply negatively. Consequently, Furuhashi decides to restrict herself from eating between meals and following a diet plan. The next day, Yuga brings cheese tarts made by his sister, which tempts Furuhashi. However, she decides to focus on her studies to resist her temptations. Yuruka brings a rare pudding for everyone the very next day, but Furuhashi again resists her urges. The next day, Rizu brings eel udon, her family's prototype dish, and Furuhashi's determination begins to weaken. 5 days later, Furuhashi notices that she hasn't lost any weight despite working hard on her diet. While studying in the library, Yuiga tells her that Rizu and Yuruka have already left. He notices her eating patterns and asks her if she's okay, to which she replies negatively. Yuiga tries to convince her that she hasn't gained any weight, but she states her clothes hide it. She tells him to touch her belly and lifts up her shirt. Yuiga touches it and starts feeling a bit weird. However, he assures her that she's fine. Later, Yuiga advises her to eat snacks during the night while studying, and she agrees. Consequently, it is revealed that Furuhashi successfully managed to lose weight. In the next scene, Sawako Sakijo, the president of the chemistry club, confronts Rizu. Sakijo is her rival, and she believes that Rizu is in love with Yuiga. However, Rizu denies it, and while leaving informs her that he's coming to her house today. Later, Sakijo begins observing Rizu and Yuiga while studying. She begins flirting with him to get Rizu's attention, but she doesn't bother. Yuiga, unaware of her true intentions, begins to believe that Sakijo is interested in him. He gets excited about it. However, Rizu throws them out because of their noise. Later, he informs Sakijo that nothing is going on between him and Rizu. He believes she wants to become Rizu's friend, but she denies it. Afterwards, she evaluates Rizu's assignment and gets impressed by her efforts. The next day, Rizu and Yuiga visit the library only to find out that Sakijo is already there waiting for them. Later on the day of the sports tournament, Yuruka notices that she forgot to wear a bra, therefore, she puts on a jersey. She gets worried because she doesn't want Yuiga to notice her stupidity. Later, during a basketball game, Yuruka gets distracted and loses the ball. During halftime, Yuiga asks her if she's fine, to which she replies positively. Yuruka gets motivated by Yuiga's concern for her and decides to give her all in the second half. She begins playing efficiently and suddenly collides with Yuiga. During her collision, her chest gets brushed against him, which embarrasses her. Consequently, Yuiga notices that she's not wearing a beret but tells her it's okay, which embarrasses her more. The students of Ichino's academy go on a study trip located in the mountains. Yuiga notices the mountain udon and tries to collect it, but his teacher stops him and takes him away. Rizu stares at him and Furuhashi notices her. Later, she again begins staring at him but refrains herself. In the next scene, Yuiga helps Rizu pick up her drink from the vending machine. He advises her to seek his help if she doesn't understand anything. However, she takes it negatively and goes outside to breathe some fresh air. Rizu realizes that she needs to apologize to Yuiga and begins collecting the mountain udon for him in the forest. Later, it begins to rain and she decides to go back but suddenly realizes that she has lost track. In the next scene, Sakijo informs Yuiga that she couldn't find Rizu anywhere. Moreover, their phones have been confiscated and she can't call Rizu. Yuiga realizes that she must have lost her track in the forest and decides to rescue her. Afterwards, he goes into the forest and finds a card which belongs to Rizu. The scene then shifts to Rizu, who's waiting for someone to rescue her. She imagines Yuiga rescuing her and surprisingly he finds her. Yuiga states he figured out her location, which surprises her. As a token of gratitude, she hands him the mountain udon. Scared to climb down, Rizu accidentally falls and kisses Yuiga. In the next scene, they are punished for cleaning the inn's bath for going outside without permission. However, ever since their accidental kiss, there's been a vibe of awkwardness between them. Suddenly, all the girls visit the inn, which surprises them. It is revealed that Rizu forgot to hang the cleaning sign at the entrance. Yuiga gets embarrassed and confused by the situation, but Rizu orders him to hide in the sauna. Anyway, she fails to handle the situation and Yuruka undresses her. Yuruka and Furuhashi make a bet on lasting long and visit the sauna with Rizu. Yuruka hits her limit and leaves, but Furuhashi notices something under her. Suddenly, Sakijo informs them about a meteor shower and they leave. She tells him that she figured out he was hiding in the sauna when she found his jersey in the bathroom besides cleaning supplies. Yuiga thanks her and leaves but bumps into Yuruka. However, she believes she's having a hallucination and he escapes successfully. In the next scene, Rizu apologizes to Yuiga and clears that it was an accidental kiss between them, which relieves him. Kirisu believes Yuiga was involved in an illicit sexual encounter with Rizu. She believes he doesn't qualify to be a tutor, but Yuiga tells her it was an accident. Suddenly, Furuhashi enters the room and defends Yuiga's innocence. However, she accidentally tells her about their library incident, which shocks Yuiga. Kirisu believes her and tells her to leave, but Rizu enters the room. She informs her that Yuiga hasn't done anything illicit and requests her to stop the interrogation. Unfortunately, she accidentally informs her about the bathroom incident and leaves. Afterwards, Yuruka enters the room and while defending Yuiga informs her about the pool incident. All these things add fuel to the fire and Yuiga believes he'll be expelled. Much to his surprise, Kirisu notices that his students are quite fond of him. Going by their demeanor, she realizes the incidents were accidents and overlooks them. Moreover, she believes it is a crime to have an environment in which people with talent can't make full use of it. Consequently, she doesn't like the idea of him tutoring the geniuses. Kirisu personally went through a similar phase and is leading an unhappy life. However, it is revealed that she visited the forest to find Rizu, and that's why she knows about the accidental kiss. Later, the headmaster notices the remarkable progress of the students and praises Yuiga. In the next scene, Yuiga reluctantly reveals to his friends that he accidentally kissed a girl. His friend begins mindlessly running into the school and shouts about Yuiga's kiss, but Yuruka overhears him. Later, while studying in the library, she asks him if he kissed anyone, but he dodges the question. She meets Furuhashi and indirectly informs her about the love situation. Furuhashi advises her to not give up on his love and suddenly Rizu arrives. The rumors of Yuiga kissing a girl spread in the school and Furuhashi realizes the girl is Rizu. The next day, Furuhashi performs well on the test, but Yuruka fails. Similarly, it is revealed that Rizu's score has also gone down and Furuhashi's doubts become clear. Yuiga asks Furuhashi about the reason for their failure and she gets surprised. However, she tells him to be considerate towards their feelings because they're girls. Yuiga realizes that he has become quite close with Rizu and Yuruka unintentionally. As he's about to leave, he meets Yuruka dressed in a sexy and revealing outfit. While walking, Yuruka tries to get close to him, but both of them get embarrassed. Later, they come across a shrine and go inside. Yuiga prays for academic success and his family while Yuruka prays for romantic success. Suddenly, it begins to rain and Yuruka pretends to fall asleep in a seductive way to grab Yuiga's attention. She imagines him licking his body but wakes up instantly. However, she notices that she is being licked by cats and Yuiga is playing with a dog. While leaving the shrine, Yuiga stares at her chest and she notices him. He advises her to dress like this in front of the guys she likes, which makes her happy. Will you be able to win the scholarship? Who will he end up with in the end? Find out in the next episode, and please subscribe to our channel.